The Trump administration is advancing a sweeping crackdown on gender transition procedures for minors by targeting federal funding for medical providers who provide such services. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. said, quote, "We are done with junk science driven by ideological pursuits, not the well-being of children." Well, to break down what this means, I'm joined by CBN's Billy Hallowell. Now, Billy, you've spent a lot of time looking at every side of this debate. What do you think about the Trump administration's move here?
I think if you are of the mind that this is evil or wrong, or that children shouldn't be given hormones or go through surgeries, again, we're talking about children here. We're talking about individuals under the age of 18, people who can't get tattoos or drive a car many times or do all sorts of other things without parental permission or being of a certain age. If you think it's wrong to medically transition them, then why would you be opposed to this, right? I think what's happening is obviously the other side of this is saying, well, some of the medical boards are saying, well, this interferes with the patient-doctor relationship. This is a little bit different than the patient-doctor relationship. You have children who are making decisions that they are not mentally, spiritually capable of making at an age where they are not developed enough to make those decisions. And this is something that really has gone out of control, not just in this country, but around the world. So I think what the federal government is trying to do is to put its money where its mouth is. It's rhetorically saying this is wrong, and now it's taking steps to try to prevent hospitals and doctors from participating in it.
Yeah, to me, this isn't even much of a debate, and I know that probably will offend some people, but let's talk about spiritually first, biblically. This isn't even up for debate. In the beginning, God created mankind in his own image, male and female. He created them. It's just not anywhere else in Scripture. God is from Genesis to Revelation is clearly demarcated the unique beauty of both male and female. This is an affront to anything biblical Christian doctrine. It's not even close. Again, if I am offending people, I don't really care, because I think that's biblically and spiritually not even up for debate. When it comes to politically and scientifically, I don't even think it's much of a debate either. There was actually Elon Musk tweeted out something, not that he's the person we should be looking to for all things wisdom, but I do think he tweeted a really interesting meme. You've seen those memes that there's the button, which one do you push? And one of them basically said, 18-year-olds are not smart enough to have understood the ramifications of taking out student loans. And then the other button is like, but kids are able to genitally, mutilate themselves, before they're even able to drive. And it is a good debate. It's like, okay, well, either kids shouldn't be able to buy alcohol, and they shouldn't be held responsible for a lot of other things, but you're allowing these kids who again are just trying to figure things out to take. I mean, the fact that we even have to debate this, that a puberty blocker for a kid is just holistically, scientifically counter biological. I mean, and again, I think what's really a step in the right direction too, Billy, I mean, I've talked about this a lot. A few years ago, you couldn't say this. Now I feel like a lot of people are like, that wave of like people being afraid to just speak plain truth is that wave is crested, and it's no longer even there. And now people are like, okay, this is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. Giving children puberty blockers. And as a father of 3 children, no, this is not just wrong politically and scientifically. This is evil, obviously, from a biblical perspective. So to me, this isn't a debate that I think there are a lot of gray areas. I think that the Trump administration is making the right decision here, because there is nothing redeeming about literally cutting off genitalia of children. This is just abhorrent. And so I maybe in my older age, about to turn 40 with 3 kids, I've become less worried about what people think. Bravo. I don't care who that offends. This is the right decision, because we should not be even having the debate about giving minors puberty blockers and cutting off their genitalia if they can't even buy a pack of cigarettes or alcohol or a myriad of other things. Now, obviously, there's a lot that goes with it, but and Billy, you've done a lot of deep dives into this. I guess for the sake of argument, what are some of the debates, the gray areas that people will bring up with this whole discussion?
Well, they'll say things like, if you don't allow a child to transition, it creates more suicidal ideation. If you don't allow a person to go through this process, it hurts them mentally. That this is a treatment for affliction, right? Let me just read a statement from the co-director of the ACLU's LGBTQ and HIV rights project. They said these gratuitous proposals are cruel and unconstitutional attacks on the rights of transgender youth and their families. And again, when you look at this sort of thing, you have to say to yourself, these children, what you're doing is, and by the way, the ACLU, they said that they're going to challenge this in court. And so there's going to be a legal battle, obviously, over this. But you're talking about permanent changes in a child's life, who they are as a person, the ability, having breasts removed, the inability to possibly have children later, depending on what sort of treatments they've gone through. Do we even have research on what is happening with these hormones in the bodies of these children? There are so many other layers to this. You can have the debate when somebody turns 18. Should they have the right to do it? That's a separate debate. We're talking about people who are children and who are underage. And so, I haven't heard many good arguments that make sense to me. And I would also add, a lot of the research is being doubted, right? The research claiming, well, this saves lives to transition people and children. A lot of that research has been doubted.